Hi, my name is Gus Strobel, and I have been searching for answers about spirituality for the last 30 years. Ever since I was a teenager, when I encountered a book called The Magus of Strovolos, I started to wonder what spirituality was all about. In this book, the author, Markides, he would talk about a mystic from Cyprus known as Daskalos, which means teacher in Greek. And this mystic would talk about, it was the first mystic that I ever encountered that talked about applied psychology, karma, and Christianity at the same time. So this was very different to me, very different. Yeah, I had heard of spirituality in different areas where the Eastern practices and whatnot. But this was the first time that I heard someone talking about not only how to see spirituality in your outer life, but also in your inner life, in your own personality. So I went on to study psychology. I got a bachelor's degree in psychology, and it was very interesting because many authors, most Western authors on psychology, they don't agree on what spirituality is. They can't agree on what mental health is, and they can't agree on what is the best way to achieve mental health. This is easy to see, like today. There's many lines of psychology, lines of psychiatry, many people suffering, many people taking drugs to get nowhere. In my practice as a psychotherapist, it was very disheartening to find out that most techniques I had learned in college, in university, were not achieving results. It was very, very frustrating. So I abandoned my practice when I was around 30 years old, yes. In my 30s, I abandoned the practice, and I went on to work in other areas. But all throughout this time, that book, the teachings, the ideas that were in the book about our human nature, who we are, what we are, they were there, and I was wondering more about how to find out about them. I had tried to look for seminars and training on that mystic's teachings, and I was only able to find his daughter giving courses in Cyprus, giving seminars, but they were scarce and a little expensive at the time, to me, to my pocket at least. And only in 2016 I managed to reach out and meet in person someone who had a training and guidance directly with Daskalos, who had been a part of his inner circle of students, who was Daniel Joseph. So I went on to meet with him in Canada in one of his seminars. Not only me, but 30 plus people were there in that seminar. And for the first time in my life, I could understand more deeply those initial ideas in the book. And when I went back home, I started to practice daily those exercises that were mentioned in the seminar. And to my surprise, after 8 months of weekly practice, like Monday to Friday, weekdays, yeah, I found myself, one day I went to bed, and before my consciousness went off, before I slept, in that moment between waking state and sleeping state, for the first time I saw building in my mind's eye. I had never understood before what a mind's eye would be or what that would mean. But I remember the building until today, and that was the first image I received. And it was very interesting that ever since then, I have been having many experiences that I don't know exactly what they are, but I know they're consciousness experiences. And that made me devote myself even more to the teachings of Daskalos. So I created this channel here to share what I've learned with his teachings. So stay tuned, check it out, subscribe, find out what we're gonna be doing here. The idea of the channel is to find out how to become spiritual. There are many people out there who are talking about spirituality, who are thinking about spirituality. But my question is, are we being spiritual as we think these things, or what is to be spiritual? Is to be spiritual just to have the right concepts in your head? Or is to become spiritual, is to become a channel, a way of being, of expressing certain virtues on earth? What is to be spiritual? Let's find out together. Thank you. See you soon.